2 months ago, when the Tecno Spark 10 Pro came out, it was called the Budget King. And that's because it came with some really amazing specifications, like a 90Hz refresh rate, a 50 megapixel main camera that took really great pictures. But then the Tecno Camon 20 came out, and I think it also has really amazing specifications. So really, it is time for us to ask that question: which of these two phones is the best budget phone you can buy if you have about 130K and below? If you're ready to find out, let's go. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Benjamin. Now, before we talk about these two phones, I want to thank everyone who participated in the survey because I had so many phones to compare. I really didn't know which one to put out first. But you guys chose this one and I really appreciate it. And then if you haven't subscribed, please do so that you don't get to miss comparison videos like this one because I have a lot to put out. Now let's talk about these two phones. One of the most amazing things about the Tecno Spark 10 Pro was the fact that it has the glass rear. In fact, it was Tecno's first device that came with a glass back. And also the fact that it had a design that made it look like an iPhone, a flat side that made it really comfortable to hold. When it comes to design, the Tecno Spark 10 Pro is premium. But then also when you look at the Tecno Camon 20, it has this textured leathered back that is quite unique. You don't get to actually see it in other smartphones. It also has flat side that made it really comfortable to hold. So really when it comes to design, you can't really set these two phones apart. For the Tecno Camon, the design and finishing is quite unique, while for the Tecno Spark 10 Pro, it looks really premium. So you just have to choose which of them better suits you and you go for it. Now let's talk about some physical differences between these two phones. The first will be the position of the fingerprint sensor. For the Tecno Camon 20, it is on display, while for the Tecno Spark 10 Pro, it is side mounted. Depending on the one which you prefer will determine the smartphone you're going for. But also something of note is the fact that the Tecno Camon 20 has an IP53 dust and water rating, and that means that splashes of water should not do any harm to this device. But for the Tecno Spark 10 Pro, we can't say the same. And then when it comes to display, the Tecno Spark 10 Pro comes with a 6.8 inches IPS LCD display, while the Tecno Camon 20 comes with a 6.67 inches AMOLED display. Now, everyone will always choose an AMOLED display over an IPS LCD display. And that's because for one reason, AMOLED displays gives more punchy and vibrant colors when you are viewing video content on them. And also, because it consumes way lesser energy than LCD displays. But the fact is, to the human naked eye, when you're viewing video content on these two devices, you really don't get to see so much difference. So the experience is basically the same. Additionally, when it comes to peak brightness, the Tecno Camon 20 has 700 nits of peak brightness, while the Tecno Spark 10 Pro has just a little above 460 nits of peak brightness. And from the video you can see now, it is way easier to use the Tecno Camon outside under direct sunlight than the Tecno Spark 10 Pro. And talking about processing power, the Tecno Spark 10 Pro has a MediaTek Helio G88 processor, while the Tecno Camon 20 has a MediaTek Helio G85 processor. Now, when I try to compare these two processors in nano reviews, I discovered that there isn't any difference between them in terms of processing power and gaming performance, even when it comes to battery efficiency. So really, what is the difference between these two processors? And then I discovered that the Helio G88 can actually support up to 90 Hz of screen refresh rate, while the G85 can support up to 60 Hz. So that explains the reasons why the Tecno Spark 10 Pro comes with a 90 Hz refresh rate screen, while the Tecno Camon 20 comes with a 60 Hz. So if you're a gamer and you're considering which of these two devices you're able to play your games more efficiently, the fact is that the Tecno Spark 10 Pro may be slightly better, but really not significantly better. So irrespective of which device you choose to buy, they can both play your games at medium graphics and high frame rate, and you won't experience any form of lag or hitches. When it comes to batteries, same story. Both devices comes with a 5000 mAh battery with 18 watts charger in the box, which should be able to charge your device from 0 to 100% in about 1 hour 45 minutes. But the edge that the Tecno Camon 20 has is the fact that it can support up to 33 watts of charging. So if you have a faster charger, you may actually get faster charging with the Tecno Camon 20. And when it comes to OS update, both devices comes out of the box with Android 13. But for the Tecno Camon 20, we are sure of getting at least 2 years of Android updates and about 3 years of security updates. But really for the Tecno Spark 10 Pro, after 2 months of release, there isn't any statement from Tecno as to if it will be getting further Android updates. So if you intend to use your smartphone for a long time, well, the Tecno Camon 20 will be a better option for you to take. And now, let's talk cameras. The Tecno Camon 20 comes with a 64 megapixel main camera, a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and a 5 megapixel ultra wide camera, along with a 32 megapixel front facing camera. While the Tecno Spark 10 Pro comes with a 50 megapixel main camera, a 2 megapixel macro camera, a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and also 32 megapixel front facing cameras. Now, if I have to describe pictures taken by the Camon 20 in 3 words, I would say sharp, colorful, and enhanced. While those taken by the Tecno Spark 10 Pro looks more natural and the skin tones on point. And even in portrait mode is the same story. Those taken by the Tecno Camon looks really colorful, while those taken by the Tecno Spark 10 Pro looks more natural. And when it comes to HDR processing, I think the Camon 20 does a better job. For selfies, both cameras takes very decent shots so long as there's proper lighting. Those taken by the Tecno Camon 20 looks really colorful, while those taken by the Tecno Spark 10 Pro looks more natural. For videos, both phones can shoot at 2K 30 frames per second maximum with no form of stabilization, though you get some form of stabilization when you take it down to 1080p at 30 frames per second. Okay, so this is the front-facing camera of the Tecno Camon 20, shooting at 2K 30 FPS, no HDR. How does it compare to the Tecno Spark 10 Pro? This is the front-facing 32 megapixel camera of the Tecno Spark 10 Pro, shooting at 2K 30 frames per second, no HDR. What do you think of the quality of the video? So now I'm shooting 1080p 30 FPS with HDR turned on. There's so much difference, obviously, as you can see. But let's compare it with the Tecno Camon 20. And this is it at 1080p 30 FPS with HDR turned on. Like, there's so much difference. I feel this is better because it's about to rain, and this just kind of like gives the exact weather right here in Nigeria. So really, what is the conclusion? The Tecno Spark 10 Pro was and is still a very great device, honestly. But the fact is that the Tecno Camon 20 just has slight edge over it. For example, the IP53 water and dust rating can actually come in very handy sometimes. And then also the 700 nits of peak brightness that makes it usable under direct sunlight is something we actually get to use every single day. And then not forgetting the fact that it has an AMOLED display that is more energy efficient than an IPS LCD display. So we can effectively say that everything that the Tecno Spark 10 Pro has, the Tecno Camon 20 has, and even more. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe so that you get to actually see more comparison videos like this. So I guess I'll see you in my next video.